Hello. I am exactly on time. Perfect. In fact, what time is it? I don't know that I deserve that, Fig Smith, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, okay. Yes, had a little bit of. This is gonna shock you. Technical difficulties. Except this one was with my camera, so I figured it out, so it's all good. But still, I was like, seriously. It's cool. Yes. I figured it was probably better for me to cut. Oh my god, so early. The hell? That's okay. I'm just gonna eat my sandwich here for a moment. Mm-hmm. Like a mess. Fern is staring very covetously at the sandwich. Diabolical ad. It's true. Puppy girl? Hold on. Hold on, hold on. We gotta post on the socials because we didn't do it yet. Hi. Fern, hold on. Oh god. I am. I'm doing them right this moment. Oh my. That is a very cursed one. Hold on. I know, Fern. I know. I know. You need to chill. You. I'm not letting you up on the desk right now. Okay. Fern, you need to wait. Alright. Some of my diligence has been due. You are ridiculous. Sorry. Yeah. Oh. As I said, thank you very much for your patience. I was like ready. Yes, Fire. I can see you now. You were in the void. I promise that we weren't specifically just ignoring you. You. Oh my god. Fern is doing her best Beatrix Potter animal impression. Oh my god, if you could see it. Fern? Nope. Okay, I'm sorry. You just got to see my messy side of my office instead, so let me show you the child. This is a child who wants to eat my sandwich. I know you're so close you can't have it though, I'm sorry. Do you want to sit up here for now? Yeah, you want to sit up here and watch me eat the food you can't have? Yeah. Sir, today I need to finish this cover, so I need to color it. That's gonna be one of my things that I'm doing, and I also was thinking, depending on who comes to watch the stream, I'll kind of decide if I'm gonna work more on that Terra commission, or I had the thought of doing like a little offline animation. So we'll see. Also, I realized that I might seem not as organized as I could, but I would like to say that I have done a load of laundry that was actually 2 washers worth today, and I feel like that should get a little what's in the sandwich? The sandwich is like an egg and cheese and spicy mayo on an English muffin. It's basically like our breakfast thing that you would get, but a little bit cheaper. I did. No, the laundry was definitely like becoming an eldritch form, but and me and Miss Fern went for a walk, and there was a whole bunch of Canadian geese over at the one area where I'll let her go off leash sometimes. So I had to make sure that she didn't seem like she was about to square up with any geese, because as much as I have faith in Fern's strength and her abilities, I don't think she would win in a fight against a whole flock of geese. I could be wrong though. Yeah, they don't even know. This isn't even your final form. This isn't even your final form. So yes, I just leave this slightly scandalous picture up for a little bit longer. Yeah, I realized I didn't do a live draw on Monday because it was Thanksgiving. So even though I didn't really observe it because my family doesn't really live in town here, I still kind of took the day off because I went to a wedding on Sunday and was a little bit wiped from that. So yeah, but it was good. I know I posted a bunch of photos that you guys would have seen already, so it was nice because I got to my boyfriend's sister is like a makeup artist, so I was able to ask her to do me a favor, which she did kind of in a rush, and it was just slightly frustrating because I had like packed a kind of like in case of emergency sort of kit, like, you know, I had like my press-on nails on, so I was like, I brought the little glue thing for it because I'm like, well, if one falls off then I'll have it, and like I brought my glasses because I was wearing contacts and all this stuff, and like of course I left it at their house, so I didn't actually have it with me, and I did kind of need it, and I was like, this is what happens when I try to plan ahead. It's just like I still thwart myself. There's just no two ways about it. Excuse me. But it was nice. Their dog came to the wedding, and he wasn't a ring bearer, but he had a little dog suit with a bow tie on. So that was pretty funny. I mean, he looked very handsome. It was more funny when a little bit after the ceremony he was going home, and one of the bridesmaids had come up and was like, "Have you seen Zuko?" Zuko's the dog. Because they're like, so and so. I don't know if Zuko had like a pack on him or like, I don't know. It didn't seem like he had like actual functional pockets on his tiny dog suit. But they were like, yeah, so and so like left their phone with Zuko. And now Zuko has left. And it's like, he's just a little guy. That's too much responsibility for a little guy like that. You can't put him in responsibility of your phone. April, you're like the size of my phone. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they sorted it out, but it's still just funny that I was like, so you have to be responsible for your own accessories and equipment. Okay. Fern is watching very pointedly. So I apologize if this is a lot of sandwich ASMR. This is a little drier than one might like to eat stealthily. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zuko is a French bulldog. Mm. You're just gonna launch yourself off. Get it. Okay. I was gonna say, I did draw him. I'm like, is it weird if I share a photo of someone else's dog? Of him being very cute in his little suit. Hold on. Arf's like, well, they're basically my pets, really, when you think about it. Where's the dog? Show me the dog. Okay. This is not quite the photo I was looking for, but it will have to suffice. Just toss it up over this drawing, it's fine. This is Zuko in his little suit. And he had a bow that matched the bridesmaids' dresses, so... Oh man. On the topic of bow ties and me being an adult who does not buy grown-up clothes much, I didn't have a bow tie. But me and... I don't know why I'm like, I feel like I started just referring to him as boyfriend, and now I'm like, I feel weird, like referring to him by name, even though I'm pretty sure like everybody in the chat knows. He does have very human eyes. What does that dog know? That, so I had my dress, and it's like a kind of bluey green, and so we're like, okay, excuse me, Jesus. And we're like, okay, we're gonna get like you know, like a matching bow tie and like grab some like suspenders for boyfriend. And we went to like, I don't know, whatever sort of like menswear store where one would buy such things and other expensive men's clothing. And I was like, oh, he ended up spending $50 on a bow tie. That I was like, that is insane. I'm sorry, that is like actually crazy. Um, and then we were looking at like the suspenders that they had at the like grown-up clothing store, and we're like, these are all expensive and not really neutral enough for what we want. So we went next door to Spirit Halloween, and he got some black suspenders for $10. So bow tie, $50. Suspenders, Spirit Halloween, $10. Mm-mm. Frank, you can't lay there. You can't lay there. I know you're perfectly sized to lay on my tablet, but you can't. Mm-hmm. Okay, baby girl. Yeah. Well, and um, like Nick did have like a tux that he's worn to like a few weddings already, so I feel like he's kind of like at this point gotten his money's worth for it. But like, you know, I don't know how much use he would get out of like a very specifically colored bow tie, you know? Um, you know, unless it's like we both have to rewear these outfits multiple times to be like, all right, we have gotten our money's worth. You miss Fern. You miss Pup. I'm gonna move you. Alright, I will get rid of the dog with human eyes. Yes, so this is kind of a priority item for me right now, because it needs to be done. Just dressing the bow tie all the time. It's true. I do not feel like I closed my lines very well on this drawing, so here we go. Hey Nico! Welcome to the stream of me continuing to work on a thing that is like a day late now. Alright, look at my hand. That's not the most helpful thing you could be doing right now. God, Fyra, look at you having like a job or whatever. Fern, you can't sit here. You cannot sit here. I'm sorry. At least I have like footage that I could show to be like, this is why this is taking so long. You, come here. Come lay in my lap instead. Okay, let's come lay in mommy's lap. Come lay down. Lay down, puppy. Okay. Oh my god. I don't really know why she does this. I don't know if anyone else has dogs that are like, she'll just lick my elbow pit, specifically my elbow pit. I say it's because she knows that's where the blood is. Yeah? I didn't yet, Fyra. Fyra is currently working on a... Is it like a birthday portrait, Fyra? Or just because I'm so fabulous? But, yeah, Fyra is working on a portrait for me that was based on a picture that we took, very belated. That's okay. You know what else is very belated? Oh yeah, I guess I still haven't like even showed you the drawing that I started for your birthday last year, Fyra. I guess I sort of figured at a certain point that I'm like, well, I guess it's gonna be this year's present. Feel like I was not as on top of things as I could have been for birthdays, so. But yes, I was also going to say that Fyra is also working on the drawing like on stream on his channel, so for anyone who didn't know that and would maybe be interested in following him, now you know. Okay, hold on. Sorry, brain is functioning at 100% capacity right now. It's good. Oh my god, I really did not close my lines on here. Spending. I am not going to make the obvious low-hanging fruit joke, just FYI. I couldn't do it, not me. I was gonna say, and now in lieu of making that joke at my own expense, I feel like that's sort of like, just like home reno slash like upkeep kind of stuff. I know that it's not like exciting, but I find that kind of stuff can be kind of fun. But that might also just be the Power Wash Simulator fan in me talking, so. Sorry, I know this is definitely the most exciting thing you can watch in this process. Yeah, I find this sort of like. Jeez, Big Smith. Sorry, wow. Yeah, I find that, you know, I don't mind doing more like kind of like labor or like, you know, as I said, like kind of like reno or like maintenance kind of stuff. The thing that I don't enjoy those sorts of tasks is when it's like, you know, if you're like cleaning or fixing something or whatever, and like it takes time, but if you spend the time, it gets done. and it's like, it's just kind of a progress bar more than anything versus like tasks where you can spend a lot of time and effort and then not have it work or have to go back and do more because like the thing you did was like wrong. So yeah. I would say like, same thing with like I like doing like painting or like like uh like I've laid baseboard or laid flooring and stuff like that before, so you know, I don't mind putting in the work as long as it is like progress being made. There's definitely been a few things that I feel like yeah, well, like one of the things that comes to mind, Nico, I might have mentioned this, but I actually IRL had a power washer. And the goal with it was that we were gonna clean the siding on our house that we had, because it was like white siding that was like we'd been trying to clean it otherwise, but it was like now is the time for the power washer, and it was very exciting. And like most of the majority of the like sides were like you would do the thing and it would clean it, but then it's like I got to like some zones like around like the porches and stuff like that where like I was doing the same thing and like I was like scrubbing it and I was like soaping it up and all this stuff and just like I was putting a lot of energy into it and it wasn't doing anything and I was like I don't understand why. So like I was willing to put in the time but only if it worked. So, and yes, that was quite the spider house. Honestly, after the first like year that we were in that house, I found that it was less spidery. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, it might have to just do with kind of like food supply and stuff like that, which can be a little bit concerning. So, but I figured it was a good sign when we'd have like frogs in the backyard. So, yeah. Oh man, that just made me think of like another finding wildlife in that backyard sort of story. If I were in Big Smith, you would have heard this one already, most likely. But we had one summer where we had done kind of like a vegetable garden and like planted flowers and stuff and made like a decent effort. And I don't know if it was just like we were just doing like maintenance or whatever, tending to the garden, such as it is, as one does. And we noticed that like there was like kind of like a hole and the fence was kind of like pushed weird a little bit because we had like a chain link fence. Oh, hello. And we went and we looked and there was not Rosie. There was a snapping turtle in our backyard. And he was like decently big. He was a decently big turt. And I had never seen a turtle that big before, especially like not in real life. And so he had basically like gotten himself stuck on the fence and he couldn't go any further. And we live kind of near the river ish, like near the Ottawa River over there, but not like that close. So he would have had to have really like gone on an adventure to come and get stuck in our backyard, like. So we ended up picking him up and putting him in a Tupperware bin, and we left him there for like a few minutes to go just kind of like get whatever stuff to take him over to like a body of water. And it was like kind of like a tub, like, oh my god, I'm sure that somebody better with fluid measurements would be able to tell you how many like gallons or whatever it was, but like, a big enough tub that it's one of those ones that you'd be like, don't let your child play unattended in this like Tupperware bin. And so I looked out the back window at the bin that had the turd in it, and I just saw it like stretching up to leave the bin, and it jumped out of the bin, and it just like hustled and got stuck again in the fence. But we were just like just seeing it go as fast as it did, I was like, oh my god, that is actually kind of scary. But we did end up collecting them and taking them back somewhere a little bit wetter. So yeah. Do you remember that, Rosie? Rosie's like, I remember very little. That is not currently happening right now. Yeah, I don't know. It had a mission, but it was like, it wasn't succeeding with its current method, so. Y'all are ridiculous. But yeah, because I've heard, I'm gonna move you. Because like I've heard, nar, lay down over there, please, nar. Oh my god, I love you. I love you so much. I love you when you lie not on my tablet. But yeah, it was like, as I said, it was just kind of one of those things that it was very interesting because A, we were definitely not expecting to see that there, and it was a decently large individual, and one of those things where you meet an animal and you're definitely like, this is like a wild animal. Yeah, just like you, such a wild animal. That you're like, this is not an animal that particularly wants to be our friend or understands that we are trying to help him out, like this is an animal that's just like, I will destroy you. I will destroy everything that you love. Put me down. Wait, see. We weren't even really that like far into like the sticks where we live there, but we did see some interesting wildlife. There was definitely a gaggle of not small turkeys that lived in like the woods around that area. That I wasn't like really afraid of them, but I wasn't 0% afraid of them. I don't think that I could necessarily take on an entire flock of turkeys on my own. I feel like the harder thing though with that is kind of like communicating that to your dog that you have in tow at a given time, because our German Shepherd could cover a decent amount of ground pretty fast. That like, you kind of had to like do a pretty good like look around before you let him off leash, because if you didn't realize that there was like several turkeys on the far side of the lake park, he would book it over there pretty fast. That was what happened one time when he got sprayed by a skunk in our one backyard. So we were trying to, it was when we had first brought the kittens inside and we were trying to catch their mom, and so we had like a raccoon trap outside, like a live trap, not like anything like dangerous or like violent. But one of the things that we did catch overnight in that trap was a skunk, and the German Shepherd was like, saw that there was a wild animal in the cage much faster than I did, and was able to be like, ran down like several flights of stairs and across like a big yard to the tree line and got sprayed. So I feel very fortunate that Fern has yet to have a skunk experience with me. So if I could keep it that way, that would be great. Even though I do think the skunks are very cute. And if I could have a descented one, I would definitely consider it. Yeah, they are very cute animals. Yeah, there were coyotes near that house. Rosie, here, I'm in the way. Lord love you. Yeah, the house that we were living in when we rescued the kittens was pretty, like, it was in like farm area, so there was a decent amount of wild animals around there. What do you mean fire? It's farmland for now. I assume you mean like it has like a thing for like development around there. I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked. Hold on a sec. I will be right back. I just need to give somebody something. Apologies for that. I just have like a couple of like delivery things and such that are happening today. So, also I see, did you guys try to stage a Lord of the Flies while I was gone? How did that go for you? Also, I maybe realized why Rosie was being quite so large and in charge. I realized that their food bowls were empty. So I'm a mean mom, apparently. Everybody wants to wield the conch shell. They don't know what a heavy responsibility it is. That's right, I read Lord of the Flies a long time ago. I actually read it before I had to read it for school, because I read it when my sister brought it home. So I was like, yeah, that's right. I read it just because I... This fire piggy. Did you smash him with a boulder? Did you guys find the parachute man while I was gone? Admittedly, I saw the comment about the cookies and I was thinking about it, because I do have some, but... I was just saying that you guys went Lord of the Flies in my very brief, reasonable absence. I gotta say, this music is not making me feel really amped. It's making me feel a little eepy sleepy. That's what I'm gonna say. Excuse me. Can do that for now. Part of my excellent time management today before stream was that I was like, I wanna... And she's back. Hello, Rosie. Wow. Brain. Right. Part of why I was not quite as punctual as I thought I was going to be was that I wanted to do a thing for like a celebration sort of like alert for if I hit my 10 subs, because I'm one away right now. So that ended up taking a little bit more time than I thought it would, and it is definitely not perfect, but I tried, and therefore no one can judge me. I don't even feel like I can be like, because I'm pretty sure all three of you are already subbed, so I can't be like, how about you, Rosie? Are you subbed? Ridiculous. I was bed rotting, but then I was also doing other things, so I said I did 2 loads of laundry, so. Commercial watch. Oh, right. Rosie, you are in the way. You are so in the way right now. Lord love you. If you can hear if you can hear purring, it most likely is Miss Rosie. She has a very strong purr. And she is pretty close right now. To her credit, she is not entirely on my tablet right now, so. I'm debating a little bit if I want to change up her outfit, because I did have a reference I was using and I'm just not sure if I think it is the best one that I had, so. Rosie, please. You're so large and so in charge. Yeah, I'm just like, how much of a pain would it be to change her outfit? Indecisive. Oh, Rosie. You are very cute. No, Boo is more accurate, I think, Big Smith. Just because I feel like this is going to be something that requires rather dramatic lighting. I just kind of wanted to get it kind of going already, so. But I say this without a great amount of confidence that I am not going to make many changes from this, so. Hi. I know, you're so pretty. You're so beautiful. Oh, hello. Okay. Wait, did you make fun of art? Do we need to square up Big Smith? Oh my god, Rosie, please. Please. Oh my god. My entire kingdom for an office door. Lord love them. Oh, okay, I see. I get you. You're good this time, Big Smith, but next time. I figure kind of once I have this guy done, I might have another space between cover that I'm going to be starting the next little bit, but we will see. I'm not sure quite how soon that will be, but I definitely feel like I should be starting to work on Dead Name. Which, if you do not know what that is, oh my gosh, excuse me, it is the sequel to the creator-owned, like the original story that I did with Megs Visagio, Asha. And at this point, I don't know why I am taking so long to like just get the ball rolling on it, but I find that this was the case with the first book, and I feel like it's going to be kind of a similar thing with the start of the second book, where just like the first chapter has a decent like stretch of like narrative in it, where it's kind of more like setting up details and like it isn't like the actual story part of the story for a little bit yet, and I found that was a little bit slow going when I was doing the first book, so yeah. Hey Rosie, what do you know about that? Huh? What do you know about that? Thank you, Big Smith. It hath been saved. I feel like I'm really at the stage right now where it's like, trust the process, but I'm saying that to myself. I'm assuming that my instinct knows what it is doing here, even though I'm a little bit like, yes, hello Rosie. Rosie. I have remapped the buttons on my tablet multiple times because the cats will always go and manage to step on the button that enables, oh my god, Rosie, please, that enables the touch on, and then they do things like that and make it into a seizure warning. So, not ideal. Rosie, just lay down, sweetheart. Just lay there. I know, she's like, Mother, how dare you? She has to go away now. And the other night I did that thing where I fell asleep with YouTube playing, and I ended up on a video that was like not from somebody that I follow, but enough in my wheelhouse that I at least wasn't like, oh my god, what is this? But it was basically a video of somebody not doing a speed run exactly, but like was doing like a Majora's Mask run that ended up being a 1 cycle run, which I guess for slight context, in Majora's Mask, what that means is that you have the 3-day cycle. And I certainly never beat it on one cycle, so you know. But the more like novel thing, I guess, about the play that they were doing was like that it was all of the like chest and NPC obtained items were like kind of like randomized. So it just sort of like, you know, obviously that is going to change the flow of gameplay just a little bit. But I thought it was entertaining. It's interesting to just see like somebody else's thought process for like problem solving, that sort of thing, when you're not just like straight up being like, you know, playing the game in its intended fashion, which is generally my approach to it. But also laughing a little bit because, thank you, Big Smith. Laughing a little bit because there was, I could understand that the guy was getting a little bit, you know, not, the video itself was about like 3.5, 4 hours long, I guess, so not too long, but I can understand getting kind of like tired as that goes on. Wow, sorry. I feel like I had another thought there, but that's fine. But yeah, no, it was, it is funny. Hey, Dennis. Bienvenue. My brain is so good at thinking and remembering what I was doing / saying like literally 10 seconds ago. Oh yeah, sorry. So I can understand getting a little bit like, you know, as that sort of like gameplay continues and being like, you know, am I going to be able to do it in one cycle? Because initially he wasn't, guess who's back? Back again. Big Smith's back. Tell you all, friends. But just the amount of parts in, because I am a pretty big Majora's Mask enjoyer. You know, I would say it is probably my favorite Zelda game, at least for like vibe and aesthetic. But just sort of funny how much the guy was saying, he's like, oh my god, this part's so annoying, this part's so annoying. And being like, yeah, I guess there are a lot of like kind of annoying gameplay elements in this game that are like not necessarily the most fun. But I don't know, you don't really think about that when you like think back on games that you know, consider your favorite game, I guess. But yeah, I guess he was kind of saying that it's like, you know, technically Ocarina of Time is like the more overall good game, but you know, that doesn't change how I feel about Majora's Mask. I actually have a Majora's Mask tattoo. It was the first tattoo I ever got, so it is on my back, so I don't think about it super often, and it's definitely not my favorite tattoo at this point, but you know, it was still kind of a cool thing to get, so. I also don't have that many fandom tattoos now, just because I decided I kind of didn't want to do that, but I wanted to do that one, so there we go. Oh my god. So, Big Smith, gonna put the spotlight on you. Big Smith is the person who is like, I don't want a tattoo, I'll never get a tattoo, which is like, fine. And then, I feel like this was like a couple years ago now at this point, but like, you showed me your Zelda tattoo, and, cause he got a tattoo, like, with his sister, so it's like, it's cute, you know, but I was just like, Big Smith, I can't believe you didn't tell me. You should have sent out like a newsletter. This was like, you know, you got a tattoo, which you said you were never, you know, again, mostly razzing him. And because it's like, you know, very, very staunch on being like, I'm never going to get a tattoo. And then not only did he get a tattoo, he forgot to tell me he got a tattoo, and I only found out a decent amount of time later by accident. You want a whole like Zelda sleeve, Dennis, or just like in general sleeve? That is fair, Big Smith. As somebody who used to be very, very afraid of needles when I was younger, and I thought that I would never. So what you're saying is that if someone bothers you long enough. No, I'm joking. And also I think it is sweet to get one like as like a sibling or like a family kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, I found that that's kind of like for me when it comes to my tattoos, because I have like, you know, I don't have a million tattoos, but I have a few tattoos. That after the first like couple that I got, I started to be like, I kind of have like a little bit of like a rule book for like what I get or have like added on since that point, so that it's like even if, you know, I'm getting them at, like years apart or blah blah blah, the idea being that they will still kind of match in theme overall. Like one of my things is that I don't have any color tattoos, and I feel like as you get increasingly more black and white tattoos, you really, it's risky to get a color one at any point, because then it's going to make all the ones you have look unfinished. Versus right now, I can say that it's like, you know, it looks intentional. And I think it does, and I mean, it is. But also just sort of the thing of like, so I have two fandom tattoos. One being, it's like a version of the clock face from Majora's Mask is on like between my shoulders. And so because the whole thing is that it's like with the fandom stuff, I didn't want to get like a Triforce or like a blah blah blah. I wanted it to be something that like, you know, it was specifically a reference to Majora's Mask, and that B, you might not know what it is unless you actually like are familiar with the game, was kind of the thought that I had for getting that one. And then the other fandom one that I have is I have a VFD tattoo on my ankle. So from Series of Unfortunate Events. And that was like the last one that I got that I was like, yeah, okay, I don't know that I really want to do more like fandom tattoos. So since then, my rule of thumb has kind of been like more kind of like witchy slash naturey kind of stuff, and I found that that served me pretty well, because it's like, even if the exact thing is not my style as it was when I got it, it's still like at least within my wheelhouse of being like stylistic. And to be fair, I actually haven't gotten a tattoo in like a few years at this point. I think that the last tattoo I got would have been these guys on here. My like 3 tattoos that I got at the same time. And these are a few years old now, so yeah. As much as I'm somebody who's like, because I have people ask and be like, oh, did you design your tattoos? Did you blah blah blah? And like, I very specifically haven't, I would say, designed as an overall theme slash concept that I do design work when it comes to my tattoos, but I have not actually drawn any of my tattoos, and I don't see myself drawing any of my tattoos in the future. So, which I know some people find like a weird like opinion to have on it, but I just know, I don't know, and I guess it's less so in the last few years, but for a very long time, I've been somebody who's like, no matter how much I like a drawing that I would do, it would be like, in a year or like a couple of years after I drew it, I would always be like, wow, that is not very good. And I really just like didn't want to have that energy be applied to something that's on my body forever. So also, I think it's cool to work with somebody where it's like, like a lot of like specific art industry stuff is like, designing and drawing tattoos is a skill. And it is like a, just because you can do this doesn't necessarily mean that you could do this as well as like somebody who's professionally a tattoo artist could do. Which shouldn't necessarily stop you from doing it if you were somebody who really wanted to draw their own tattoo. I'm just saying for myself. But yeah, no. I don't know if I'm just kind of like, there you go. I agree, Big Smith. Well, and like even with like, this is probably less weird, but like I don't have my own art out and about in my living space, yeah. And again, maybe this is just a me thing that's sort of like, I have finished this thing, so now I am moving on to the next thing. Because I will say that there's a few of the like kind of more horror art that I did a while ago where I look at it and I am like, damn, that is good. That I could see being like, perhaps that would be something that I could see like getting something more like lasting of, but I don't know. I've had considerations of like, if I want to do kind of like sorry, I think it's like a sternum, but it's like the one that's like, is an underboob tattoo. My idea was that I wanted to do something that was like cicada themed, because I love a cicada, and yeah, I had like a couple ideas that then just sort of felt like it was getting overly complicated in a way that I didn't like, so I was like, I'm gonna put a pin in this and see if an idea comes to me, later on. Because I don't feel like I'm lacking in tattoos or I'm like super chomping at the bit. Bird Big Smith. Like I remember when I kind of was first getting tattoos, I had that time period of being like, I maybe want to get like a kind of like clavicle / like throat tattoo. And I'm not saying I would like never do it, but at this point it's not something that I'm like, I gotta do it, or like, my tattoo collection won't be complete until I have that. I think a little bit of it for me as well is like that feeling of and again, really emphasizing that this is like my opinion for myself and that I'm really not, other people are allowed to make whatever sort of judgment calls they want for body mods like this. But that I want to be careful to balance the negative space in my tattoos. So it's not just like full solid, like, I would even say that like, because this is my tattoo that has all the kitties. And especially with it being black and white, and like I could go back in and maybe get it kind of like the contrast bumped up in like certain zones to like, but just seeing this and it being a few years old and knowing that that's kind of like how all your tattoos are going to turn out. And this is a good tattoo, it hasn't really bled or anything, or like the line art hasn't really gotten like soft in a way that is blurring together because of that, but it's like, it's just the reality of, I feel like I prefer the thing of having that negative space to balance out just being able to like tell what is going on with your other tattoos. So so the tech and homemade temporary tattoos has gone better. Okay, and when you say temporary tattoos, Dennis, what do you mean? Do you mean like like the ones that you apply with a sponge? I assume doing something slightly more involved than that. Like you apply with a sponge. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I've seen ads for those ones where it's like they're longer lasting than like, the like kids tattoos. But that would be something that would be, I think is kind of cool. I agree with that. Because then you can kind of like play around with, you know, getting ink without actually committing to it, which I realize is kind of the point of it, but I'm definitely somebody who has had that sort of, I don't want to say like anxiety because that sounds like tattoo's starting to fade a bit, even though for reasons. Yeah, well, and that's gonna kind of happen no matter what, Fyra. Like, there's not much you can do to keep like it like fresh to death, because your skin is just like aging and like replacing itself and stuff like that. But also, as with a lot of things, and I know that this is unfortunate, it can sometimes also be like a genetic thing, or the fact that, you have like not white skin. That can just like affect the clarity and stuff for the like longer term thing. And, obviously that sucks. That's a thing that's kind of just like, but you could definitely go back and do like, if you ever want to get it touched up and just kind of like embellished a bit more again, you could definitely do that. And I'll also say that I feel like in the last like few years, because one of my very good friends is a girl who is black and fairly dark skin, but she has quite a few tattoos, and just listening to her talk about like, when you look on a lot of tattoo shop / artists like websites, everybody in their like portfolio is like white or light skinned, which is like, it sucks because there shouldn't be that barrier of entry. It's just like a different process that not everybody has learned or exposed themselves to that sort of clientele. So it's like, you can't learn if you don't work outside of those like comfort zones, but I do feel like that's something that in the last like X amount of years has become more prevalent, of being like not just presuming that the default like tattoo customer is like light skin. So, because how long ago was it that you got yours, Fyra? Off the record. 7 years. Oh my god. That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, so from the point of view of the life of a tattoo, that is not a short amount of time. I mean, God, when I moved out, yeah. There's that whole thing of like, your your body has replenished all of its individual cells every 7 years, so that is a decent chunk of time for something like that. But would you consider like getting it touched up / like kind of reworked a little bit so it was more trying to think of the best word for it. I was gonna say like intentional, but I feel like that's not the right word. And also follow-up question, because obviously you continue to be moved out. Do you have plans to get any other tattoos? Sorry, I'm just laughing, Fyra, because my knee-jerk thing is my nephew for some reason has given Fyra a prophecy that is basically like, you're gonna have childrens, but no spouse. So I don't know why he said that. But yes, so when you have your mysterious children, Fyra, then you can get another tattoo. Oh my god. Definitely one of those like kids sure do be saying things. Yeah, I also feel pretty fortunate though that like but you're not alone, Uncle Beard. You have all of us who love you very much. That's okay, Fyra. That's one of those things that I feel like you can bring back when he gets a little bit older and be like, remember when you told me this? Do you remember when you said this? And he's gonna be like, oh my god, don't bring that up all the time. So I should probably have my email open just in case I'm getting notifications being like, you're in trouble. Put all that away. Want to do a themed birthday? I mean, definitely doable. Also, that's nice that they want to like do a birthday thing for you, and that they're like, I know it's not that far away right now, but also I know I kind of made a remark before, Fyra, but asking somewhat seriously, do you want me to like show you your birthday gift from last year that is in a work in progress stage still? I could probably complete it in a stream, so. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to make these look like bat wings and not as successful as I might like. Also, it feels like so bright out still. Like, a lot of the light in my office is like I have stuff turned on, but a lot of it is like ambient, just like coming in through the window, so a little bit like. I don't know if I'm diving with that. Yeah, because she's supposed to be kind of like a gothy babe. I just don't know if I am doing a good job of drawing this makeup style, or if it just looks weird. Thank you, Dennis. I know that this is one of those things of like, I have been looking at this drawing for longer than I would like, so, you know, and no shade on the drawing or the character or anything like that, just, you know. I did not think it would take this long to finish it, but I know I also put it down for a little bit to try and, yeah, on the topic of the commission slash like gift that I was doing for my friends, I just barely did not finish it in time to like, because I was really wanting to like have it done that I could like kind of get it printed at Staples before we went on Sunday, and I didn't quite make it. So the one that I did that was like the vignette one is done. I can show you guys that if you like. I mean, I think you probably saw it when it was most of the way done, but I can show you the actual final version. So let's save. Also, thank you. Always with the good hair. This was definitely one that I feel like I did a few passes on and like just spent longer than probably necessary on it, so thank you. Sure, this is the one done. So as I said, this was like most of the way done already, but just to kind of show you where it ended up. Yeah. I think I am generally happy with it, although I'm still not 100% in love with like the... I like the idea of having the little like different like scenes stacked like that, but I don't know how much I actually like the shape of the stack now that I've done it. But I'm also trying to be like, you know, sometimes you just need to say that something is good and move on, which is hard. So they had the idea that they wanted like they provided me with a list of like a few different like big moments in their relationship, like leading up to getting engaged and stuff like that. So initially I was thinking I was gonna do it as just like, you know, four kind of like separate like pages, I guess. But then I was like, maybe I could do it as like a single composition instead. So as I said, I do like the concept of it. I just don't know if the execution was like 100% right. I don't know. Using large air quotes around right. Yeah. Or is that kind of logic when I need it? You know, and also admittedly, was it a thing that I was like, would it be a little bit faster if I did it this way? Perhaps. Did it actually make it faster? Hard to say. Yeah. I find that fishnets are definitely the kind of accessory that there's there's an easier, faster way of drawing them, but it is like a clothing article that's like can be really good for emphasizing like 3D form. And I mean that in an extremely intellectual artist language kind of way, as opposed to like, ah yes, the the dummy thick thighs. Yeah, that was something that I feel like I learned. That was actually a lesson that I learned in college that I actually took to heart, of being like, basically whenever you have the opportunity to take a pattern or something and like draw it so that it emphasizes whatever 3D shape it is around, you should try and do that, because it's a little, well, it is not a zero effort thing, but it is a thing that can make a big difference without being incredibly obvious why it looks like better. I don't know. I suppose you could mean contours, Thyra. Fucking dork. Also, I feel like, yeah, I guess it's contours. For some reason, I feel like that's not like quite the right like term for that, but also I might just be crazy, so. Just because we're in the same class doesn't mean we're the same level of dork, okay? I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm cool. Oh my god, I'm very much joking. Cool. Well, thank you very much for popping in for a little bit, Dennis, and fingers crossed that this is done tonight, so you'll be able to see the finest products soon. Listen, Fyra, it's not my fault that they opened the floor and let me have it. feel like I'm struggling. I'm not loving this. Mm. Hmm. Thank you, Raga. Also, I have saved. I mean, I haven't had to think about this too much recently, but this is certainly making me think about it. Of just, I feel like I am kind of bad when it comes to. Thank you, Crumpets. Thank you for the follow. Oh my god, it switched around my icons again. Get the heck out of here. Well, sorry. Just with, because I am very used to working completely digitally for my fellow Canadian. I am, yeah. But it depends on what kind of Canadian. I'm an Ottawa Canadian. Where are you about from, Crumpet? That is so like so aggressive. Prove it. Prove your Canadianism. Oh man. I was going to ask like what kind of like what part of Canada are you from? But it came out really, really aggressive for some reason. West Coast? Nice. You know, I'm over Eastern Ontario, so it's getting to be dinner time, cozy time over here. But I'm gonna go for probably. I'm about halfway through tonight's stream, so got a little bit of time to go, and then I tragically must make dinner. So. Right. Brain. Good. Yeah. I feel like so far a lot of the people who have been tuning in are more, because I'm Eastern Standard Time, so I feel like a decent amount of people are on my similar time. But kind of feel, I know that I was saying I wanted to finish this tonight, and I stand by that, but I kind of want to like pause for a sec, or like a little bit, and work on that away animation that I had mentioned earlier for like my offline thing. So I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to keep drawing this for another like 20 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, this is a cover that I have been kind of picking away at for the last like maybe like week, 2 weeks. So more done than not done, but not as done at this point as I would like it to be. So I do need to get it done. Oh my god, is it gonna do the thing? Hold on. I did a thing that's supposed to trigger when I hit my 10 follower goal, or 10 sub goals, so thank you very much for subbing. But yeah, that's okay. Apparently not. Twitch works in very many mysterious ways, is all I can say. I've been having a pretty big learning curve, I would say, coming into this. Like I've been using Steam Labs as my kind of like behind the scenes sort of production thing, and I feel like I'm still going through that process of being like, okay, I get it, I understand what you want me to do, and then I'll try to do something else and it's like, no, you cannot do that, and then I have to figure out that thing. So yeah, it probably doesn't help that I'm much more of like a YouTube kind of like video media consumer than Twitch. So I feel like I'm just kind of having to learn a lot of this stuff on the fly and be like, you know, what is like a reasonable expectation or like a normal thing to be like trying to do. Do you feel like you have reached a point, Crumbit, where you're like, I feel pretty knowledgeable. I feel like I'm generally not having to learn too many new things at this point. Yeah, that is extremely valid. I've been kind of trying to like keep it not crazy complicated. Like I only made affiliate kind of recently. So when I did that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like put in a little bit of effort to like, you know, do my little like overlay thing and make it a little bit more aesthetic overall. Because before I basically just had like it was like just my clip studio screen and like face cam over kind of in this zone and like a little chat bar, but like there wasn't any like borders or anything with it. So I feel like there's stuff that I want to learn, but I'm also like trying to budget my time, which is not always a strong point for me. Because like as I said earlier today, I was like, oh, I'm at like 9 followers, and the first little checkpoint for subs is 10. So I should make sure that there's like a little like animation thing that'll pop up if I get a 10th sub today. And I spent a little bit of time doing that instead of doing other things. And so, of course, I did something that donked it up. I feel like I'm really putting off filling in the details on the money because I hate drawing money. Sorry, I'm being indecisive again. So Crumbit, in a roundabout way, yes. So this is a cover for a series called Private Dance, that's coming out from Space Between Entertainment. So it is like the cover for a single issue kind of thing. So from that point of view, yes. And then I was also going to say on the other side of things, like I'm obviously selling it like to the publisher. So this one I probably wouldn't make as like a print just because it is like a cover thing. But yeah, honestly, I'm not the best at managing my like print sales like outside of conventions, and I mean, I guess even questionable my skill at organizing for conventions. But yeah, so this is like a variant cover for this issue. This is actually a publisher that I've done a decent amount of covers for over the last few years, so they're cool. And they do a lot of very sex positive, character explorative kind of stories. So this one's about a goth girl and she's a dancer. I mean, that is probably at least obvious. Yeah. So I haven't done one for this series before, just because it is like a pretty new one in their roster. But yeah, it's nice because I've been working on a fairly long like graphic novel for the last like 2 years, which was DC one. It's The Strange Case of Harleen and Harley. So that actually came out at the beginning of the month, and that is to say that while I was working on that, I was not really taking on very many like side like jobs, like cover jobs or anything like that. So this is one of the first ones I'm doing since I have been done that project and in a place that I kind of can put some like more like variant covers and stuff back into my schedule. So yeah, so I have done, yeah, no, and honestly, it's totally okay to like ask me these questions, even if it seems like I'm not chatting at a specific moment. I just don't always have like a full running commentary to fill the dead air with, but I am more than happy to answer questions. So I have one graphic novel out that is not like a licensed property. It is called The Aja Waja. It is a made-up word. And it was a book that I did with Megs Visaggio that came out last spring, actually. And I am starting work on the sequel to it, like, tomorrow. Should have been before then, but yes. So definitely a cool experience. They're published through HarperCollins, so they're like books. And yeah. Before that, I've done Aja was the first book, like graphic novel format comic that I had done. Before that, I did, uh, well, I've been doing comics since 2015, so almost 10 years at this point. And, so before our pitch got picked up for that comic, all of the jobs that I had done were like, more like miniseries kind of stuff. So like the longest job that I was doing up until that point would be maybe like 100-page stories, which was like broken up into like 5 issues, and then collected as like a omnibus or like trade edition. And in comparison, a graphic novel is usually like 180 pages, 200 pages, so it's like twice as long as the work that I had been doing up until that point. And also just the thing of having a much longer schedule in front of you can be good or bad. I feel like for me and just how I work, it's not necessarily the best because I'm always kind of like struggling to make my deadlines, and having a really long time frame to work on something doesn't help with that. So that's something that I genuinely want to be more on top of with this next graphic novel I'm working on. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no. And also just that sort of thing of like, it's a lot easier to maintain just sort of like presence online and stuff like that when you're working on the projects that are coming out as like single issues, because then you can be like, hey, every month or so you can have something that you can advertise as being like, this is coming out. Versus with a graphic novel, it's like, this book will come out in like 3 years. Yeah, no, this is my full-time job, and it has been for almost a decade now, and I feel very fortunate to be able to say that, even though, uh, I feel like I am not always the best suited person. Oh no, it's okay. As I said, sometimes I've been finding on these streams that sometimes I have ambient stuff to just kind of like chatter about, but other times it's kind of like depending on like my energy levels and stuff like that, having like, I like answering questions if people are curious, so definitely not putting me on the spot. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, and another thing is kind of like with coming over to to Twitch, because I am mostly familiar with Sup Dylan. I was just gonna say I am mostly familiar with like the app formerly known as Twitter, and like Instagram were kind of like have been my main social media places for a long time, and that is less so now. I kind of went more offline when I was trying to really like bend down and focus on a Harley, and that was around the time that Twitter got bought out. So, so when I did come back to it, like last year or like earlier this year, it was definitely like, this is not the same place that I left, a couple of years ago. And that was kind of sucky. But I was just gonna say, so I have a decent amount of people who are coming and watching me on here because they like know me from over there. Like they know me from my other social media kind of stuff, and this is like just the next thing that I'm trying. But then I know that there's also people on here who have likely, have no idea who I am or what I do, and just kind of trying to suss out of being like, without just being like, do I know you? Because sometimes it's like, somebody, like I have the same username on like most of the social media things that I'm on, so there's definitely people who I know who they are from other sites that I can be like, okay, hi, like, yeah, I know who you are. And then sometimes I'm like, not sure if this is like someone that I do know from another platform, but a different username, or if it's like, somebody who has haplessly wandered into my stream and is like, what is happening? Yeah, how's it going, Dylan? Listen, I feel bad for asking this. You've tuned into one of my streams before, right, Dylan? Is this the first time? Not putting pressure on you, more just wanted to say, like, oh, Dylan, oh my god. Okay. So yes. Okay, but at least I'm not crazy for being like, I don't feel like I've seen this username over here before. Okay. Wow. Okay, that just made like so many things make more sense. Cool. And that's also good timing for me talking about being like, I don't know the tactful way of being like, who are you? Do I know you? I know. Oh, okay, fair. Valid question. Okay, so I feel like I kind of want to pause on this, even though I know that I shouldn't. And something else I was wanting to work on was a little away screen for my Twitch page, and I wanted to do an animation which might be fraught, but it was going to be something fairly simple. So let's save this. Get rid of this and get rid of this for now. So I'm just thinking, Nico, have you been in stealth mode this whole time? I feel like all of us are like Terry Crews at the end of White Chicks, of just like, oh, the betrayal. Wow, sorry, brain. What do I want to do? Let's look up how big the just ambient screen is. It's 1080 by something, right? 1080 by... That doesn't seem right. Can you guys tell me offhand what the general like display size is? That's like 1080 by... Is it 2096? Wow. I could Google it, but I'm calling on the power of chat to aid me right now. $1080 by... Okay. Thank God. Alright, well, that is almost right. Okay. God, this feels like so bright now. I'm just like... So what I might do is go like this. So it's not quite as intense. Even though now that definitely looks a little weird to me, but... I was considering doing this as more like a pixel art style, but I'm like, not everything needs to be specifically a departure from what I normally do. But my idea was doing a little sleepy fern, and I was like, she's gonna be in a pumpkin. So so now, even though I stare at my dog literally all day, every day, I'm gonna be like, what does she look like? How do I draw her? She's sleeping down in her little bed behind me right now that I unfortunately cannot easily move the camera to see, but she doesn't look like this right this second, but she definitely does this little like fox sleep. That is very cute. I mean, I'll be honest, literally anything Fern does is cute, so. So, I mean, part of it is that I feel like it's kind of like a witchy name, I guess. But I do tend to like names like, you know, other considerations would have been like hazel or maple or like, you know, kind of like planty nature things. And Fern just seemed to be the one. So that's the one I went with. Whenever I play like a farming sim or anything like that, I have like a roster of names that I will give the animals in sequence every single time. So usually I'll start with parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and then build from there. I feel like Fern also could have been like a poppy or something. Yes, Scarborough Farm. Well, actually, when I like on Stardew Valley and anything like that, I've done it. I've used it enough times that like my like autocorrect suggestion on the Switch will suggest it when I go to name like a town or something. Is I always call my farm or like my town or whatever like Hemlock something. Slight like usually Hemlock Grove, which I don't know if that's a show that anybody watched X amount of years ago. And it's not even because I mean, I did like the show, but it's not specifically because I'm like such a huge fan of the show. It's just like I really like the name Hemlock as well. So yeah. Oh my god. That was like one of Bill Skarsgård's first big roles that he was in, I feel like. Where he's a vampire boy. Oh my god. Yes, spoiler. I'm trying to remember. I feel like it's one of those shows that's like when I think about it, I'm like, I don't know, it came out probably like 5 years ago. I imagine it's probably like closer to 10, if not more. And in that case, I don't want to think about it. It also has yep, so more than 10 years. Oh no, wait. Let's just say 10 years. It also had, oh my god, I know her name. She plays Jean Grey in the live action X-Men movies from like the early 2000s. Oh my god. I do know her name. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But it was very funny because in the first season of it, she has a British accent, question mark. She has a British accent. And then that it was like, because I really enjoyed the first season, but it was, there you go, yeah. Famke Janssen, who, I don't know, she's some, I feel like I'm being very negative now about this poor lady who didn't ask for anything. I feel like I want to like her as an actress, but there's something about some of just like her energy that I don't vibe with. I don't know. But yes, so in the first season of Hemlock Grove, she has a British accent. She has an accent that, you know, I really, really liked the first season, but almost to the point of me being like, oh my god, I don't know if I can keep watching this because that accent is so grating. And she is in a lot of scenes, and she's in a lot of very serious plot scenes. And it's really hard to not focus on that. So in the second season, I feel like they kind of, sorry, spoilers. I feel like they had like a narrative explanation for it, but I think they also just made the like production call to be like, going forward, she no longer has an accent. She just is like, sounds like, well, I guess American is still an accent, but she fits in with everybody else, and you're not quite so distracted by it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I could do a good British accent for an entire season of something, but also I apologize if that was a hot take. I don't know if she's an actress that like people are generally just like default like her, or if, you know, it's not a hot take. I don't know. As I said, I have no specific dislike of her as like a real person, just I will also say I might be a little bit biased because I also find that Jean Grey is not always my favorite character. Anyway, so it was a rough introduction to her as an actress. Pumpkin struggles. It's definitely something that, as much as I love drawing a pumpkin or buying literally anything that has a pumpkin on it, I haven't like carved a pumpkin in so long. Just because I live in like an apartment, and you know, if I were to carve a pumpkin, it would very much be for my enjoyment only. So, also, I'm not the best at traditional things that you can't Control Z / erase and redo things, so it's a little bit intimidating for me, but I was gonna say, I don't know. I got one of my very seasonal shirts on that I don't wear very often actually, so it's pumpkin Halloween collage shirts, big chance. Yeah, that's why I was like, I'll point it out because like we got like Crypt Keeper, we got some pumpkins, we got an eye, we have candy, we have a wolf man. Yeah, I don't know why I don't really wear it. I feel like this is a Shane purchase from X amount of years ago, so like I've had it for a while, and I feel like I thought it didn't it fit too baggy on me or something like that, but as I said, it's big chance. Also, admittedly, 80% of my clothes are in the wash right now, so I am still a growing boyster. Someday, I'll have my werewolf bar mitzvah, and I will be a werewolf man. Also, even though I don't want to like properly troubleshoot it right now, I still feel really like I feel like I got ripped off with my little celebration thing not playing, so I'm gonna go and hold on. I'm just gonna like make it do the test one so you can at least see that I did a thing, and it was pretty fun. Not that. Okay. Yo, Miss Charlotte. Also, one thing that I will say that I didn't quite figure out, so if the audio was with the GIF, but the audio seems like it goes a lot longer than the visuals do, and I couldn't really change that. So, you know what? We're all gonna have some fun. Okay, hold on. Let's do... Oh. So obviously the sub goal is not currently to 34, but do you guys have audio for it, or is it just the image? No sense. Okay. Well, it was supposed to also play Spooky Scary Skeletons. That's alright. For the next goal. Gonna work on it. Yes. How are you doing, Miss Charlotte? Also, what is your day looking like tomorrow? Tomorrow teach. Okay. Well, if you would like to come over and see if you can make any headway on making Baldur's Gate playable, I would be down for that. Oh yes, I did kind of see that popping up in my WhatsApp, so what a naughty boy. I was about to clarify just of Mr. Darcy is a dog. He's a poodle. He's a big boy. It's a lot of energy. Does the lawnmower not freak him out? Or is he like... I assume that was not why he made it a daring escape. He's not. He is a medical doctor, though. He has been to medical dog school. Oh my goodness. On one hand, I think it can be a sign of a dog that has lived a gentle, secure life, that you're like, you know, that you're not scared, like that he wasn't fearing for his life, that you were driving a machine with blades on it. But at the same time, it's kind of like, good God, man, have some self-preservation here. And that doesn't just involve jumping the fence. He squeezed out a gap on my attention. Yeah, unfortunately, he is a gentle boy, so it's not like, hey, okay. Well, it sounds like he had a very exciting night. Has he ever done that before, or was that kind of like an unusual thing for him? Okay. Mr. Darcy is a flight risk. Gotcha. So I know that it is possible to create like an animation in Clip Studio. I don't know if I'm gonna get that far right now, but for now, let's at least throw some inks on this bad boy. Okay, that's fine, Charlotte. I just wanted to ask because I know you were asking me, and now the turntables. I feel like I can probably go like this now. But yes, chat, my friends have been giving me a hard time because I finally bought Baldur's Gate. And I know some of you have already been aware of this ongoing trial. But so I finally, you know, bit the bullet and bought Baldur's Gate slightly on sale last month. And that would have been, I believe the sale ended on September 9th. So I have not been able to play the game yet because just like my computer, at this point I'm legitimately like, I mean, I feel like I'm not the most computer savvy person anyways, but just like, I don't know, it's just doing its own thing, I guess, and it doesn't feel like doing it. So, you know, I activated my Windows, I've updated my like graphics driver. In theory, I have room to store the game, but I don't know if I have this disk space to run the game, I think is what the issue is. So Miss Charlotte and all her great IT wisdom, gonna take a look, and maybe I will not have to buy a new drive, but I suspect I shall. I know, and it's one of those things where like, you know, like I do still want to play the game, but it's a little bit that feeling of like when something is giving you like so much difficulty and you're just like, you know, at this rate, I'm just so annoyed with you that I don't even know if I want to play. You know, I mean, I do want to play, but I did not expect it to be quite so much of an ordeal. So. Thank you, Crumpets. I hope you do, Miss Charlotte. I believe in you, but also no hard feelings if it thwarts you as well. Also, I'm not sure if I made this remark already, Miss Charlotte, but I went and after, because the other large game that I have, probably not surprising to anybody, is The Sims 4. But still a much, much smaller game than Baldur's Gate. And so that one I have through whatever the EA app is, rather than Steam. And so I went to just kind of be like, I wanted to see, to just like boot it up after being annoyed by Baldur's Gate. And it gave me like, so it said it needed an update, which is like, okay, fine. Sims 4. But then after that, it gave me like a little error thing that was basically like that it needed to be given like higher priority or something like that. And it didn't have like an error code or anything. It was just like, you know, that message. And I was like so done already that I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. You know, EA, keep your secrets for now. I don't. Oh. But I mean, my computer is still good for work, so that's really the important thing. I also feel like I want to like defend my computer because it's like I built it, like it was built with not like the most top of the line like options, but like it's not an old computer and it's not like a computer that has like, you know, like $10 parts in it. Like it's a pretty it should be good to run games. Like it has the power to be a gaming computer. And it's just like, but what if I did it? Or maybe it's just like, bitch, you should work. Which valid. I don't know. And also, as much as I'm like, you know, I consider myself not very computer savvy for like troubleshooting this kind of thing. I will say, to my credit, for a long time, my now ex would basically do like all the sort of like troubleshooting and IT stuff when I needed help with my computer stuff. And so kind of having to learn how to do more of that stuff on my own. I feel like, you know, I have a long way to go before I would say that I'm like, yeah, I can like take care of these sorts of like troubleshooting things, but I am better than I was, you know, a bit ago. So it's all learning, right? Thank you. Although I do continue to be somewhat annoyed by the thing of just like, you just need to be like, you know, IT is just about being good at Googling and knowing what to Google. Hey, as I said, I'm pretty sure I know what the solution is. Just if there is a chance that if there is a chance that I can do it without going out and buying like $100 drive, I would like to give it one last shot. So I know. I also get just nervous about like when it comes to like troubleshooting computer like stuff is just like I am worried that somebody is like kind of trying to like trick me or something, that it's like that I might be like, oh, okay, this is how you fix it. Goes and does it, computer explodes. And then I'm like, okay, sure. Wow, that's almost big enough to hold Baldur's Gate. I don't know. As I said, I am kind of that thing of being like, sure, that would be appreciated. Thank you. Wow. Because like I do still want to play the game. I kind of held off because I was like, surely it will go on sale, and I think I got it at like 20% off. And that was like the second time I saw it go on sale since it came out, and last time was also for about 20% off. So I still paid like, you know, oh my god, like $70 for it Canadian. Sure. You know, and I do feel like Baldur's Gate is a game that like I would like the studio to get paid, you know? Because I know that they put a lot of like care and like time into developing it. I'm just also the sort of person who's like, I have to really think about it if I'm going to spend like $20 or $30 on a game when I buy it like on the Switch. So, you know, this was a very big, yes. Yeah, well, and that's kind of what I meant, a little bit of like just the like care and stuff that went into it. You know, I don't feel bad paying them like AAA money for their game, you know. I say that, but I'm also somebody who's given how much money to friggin' like EA for Sims 4, but also just over the years. Well, like my big thing is that I want to play it with people. You know, because I told my brother and my sister like the plan was that we are going to do like a party together, and so we're still going to do that. It's just, you know, we thought we were going to do that like when I got back after Thanksgiving. So yeah, I know that they've been kind of like, does your game work yet? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It's just because of who I am as a person. Puppy girl, you're so cute. You're such a good girl. Elvira, long time no see. Also, Fyra, not putting the pressure on you or anything. Wow. Wow. Not to put pressure on you, but just wondering if you were thinking of streaming that drawing somewhere tonight. Okay. Because I was gonna say my plan was to go till like 8-ish, but I can see kind of how I'm feeling. I don't know that I'm gonna go to 9:30. But if you were gonna kind of be going online a little bit, well, like generally around that time, I could have like rated you. I know it would not be a ton, but I'm still trying to, also, why do you need to take apart your room? Why now? What is happening? Okay, fair. Like, do you have to take apart your... Is it not, like, over in the bathroom section of the basement? Or, like, do you have to take apart, like, your sleeping zone? Like... Sorry, I know. Very crucial. It's like, tell us. Oh my god. That is so dumb. But I guess if you will have hot water, then that is the goal. Hey, hey, hey. We'll see. Oh yes, and also Fyra, you had asked if I had shared or would share. Hold on. a drawing that you were working on, so yes, I shall. If you want me to. So this is the portrait that you cannot see because it's off screen, that Fire is working on. So are you thinking you're gonna add fern to it? Because clearly there's not enough animals in there. But yes, we have, this is Rosie, and this is Jack, and this is me so far. So I feel like you have very much captured that Rosie energy. Oh man. You're like, not because of the drawing. I was just thinking about her because I always think about her. The puppy princess. You're so fucking cute. Yeah, she's just like conked out in the bed. Never got a notification. I started at 4:20. Not on purpose, but I did. Yeah, because I was gonna see if you were gonna be I was gonna see if you were gonna be around today, Wheeljack, to pick up the Terra thing. Yeah, I'm not sure because I thought that if you like followed, I guess it asks you if you want to like receive notifications, but I assume that that was kind of like sort of the default thing. Like it wants you to have like notifications. And also just for general scheduling stuff. I was, but oh, okay, I see. Yeah, sorry about that. I know I had some weird stuff going on with my camera that I like ended up having to like reboot the computer and stuff like that. So, and then I tried to eat 2 sandwiches fast, and yeah. Yeah, well, and like that's something else that I kind of wish, and I don't know if this is just like I just don't know how to do it or what, because it's like I know that people will do and put that kind of like starting soon screen, but I kind of wish that I could do that so that it wasn't actually part of like the stream, if that makes sense. So that it's like, you know, for example, like you wouldn't get a notification of it going live until I actually was like active, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For what it is worth, well, first of all, I do take responsibility for saying that I know starting right at the hour is not super easy for me. It's something that I am having to like really work at. So you know, the obvious answer is just to like start at the time that I say I'm going to start, and not like 15 minutes later than that. But right, sorry. But so as a sort of general thing, so for other people being able to kind of like keep track of when I'm planning to be on slash just to have like a more regular sort of thing, what I'm doing is basically so streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and starting, well, aiming every day that I stream to start at like 4 p.m. So just sort of knowing that it's like, okay, well, if it is such and such day, you know, if it's like a Tuesday or whatever, then it's not going to be online. Okay. Yeah, is that I'm assuming that is that weekend. I'm not attending that, but some of my friends are, so. Well, I hope that you have fun. Are you doing the whole weekend, Wheeljack? Just Thursday and Friday. Okay. Yeah, no. As I said, I have never been to New York Comic Con. I've actually never been to convention in the States, either working or just like as a like a walker. I never know what to call the people who are not working at a convention, or just an NPC. No, yeah, just as like a customer, I guess. So, chumps. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have already dunked on the Ottawa Comic Con, and to be fair, I've only been there as a chump, as a walker once, and I was just kind of like, um, oh yes, so that was like a while ago. Um, I always think that maybe I want to like do like some sort of like dress up thing when I do cons, but I'm like, especially when you're working them, it's like, first of all, you're like, I don't want to look like a big weirdo if it's not a good costume or whatever, but also just like wearing it all day and like that enthusiasm maybe not lasting an entire like 10-hour workday while you're tabling. Um, it's true. I am a guy. A guy that they're like, hey, you're kind of a big deal. Why don't you come? But only to ones that we don't have to pay too much to take you to. No, I'm sorry. I'm being a dickhead. And mostly my energy when I say that kind of thing is just that, like, um, you know, even if I am somebody who's like perhaps a creator of note to go to like a convention, it is like, um, what if it was a sexy, goofy cosplay? Oh gosh. Gotta lock it in. I can't be giving that away for free. Right, but so it is very nice if when I do get uh, invited as like a guest to go. So like that they might cover my like my traveling or like my accommodations depending on where it is, or but generally usually at least my table kind of thing. Um, because it is sort of like that reality of like, even though, like, I'm somebody who has been working in this industry for basically 10 years and like has been like working steady and has some like fairly big like titles under her belt, is still sort of like the cost of traveling and staying somewhere for a con can kind of be a make or break sort of consideration for me, because like I'm a comic artist, and sadly not like an old-timey comic artist where it was like, you know, you're like making celebrity money. Yeah, Will Jack, I would definitely like to. I know I've been saying just about wanting to see about like getting into more kind of international shows, and obviously States is going to be the theoretically easiest international ones for me to attend, but yeah. I feel like I am fudging around with this. It's Big Smooth. Guess who's back? Back again. Man, I feel like I tongued this up. Yeah, I switched gears at least for a little bit, Big Smith. This is how far I got on the other thing for now, which I am still aiming to finish tonight, but I might not do it on the stream, so yeah. I feel like it's almost there. I can just see things of like, as I said, I hate fucking drawing money. Thank you, Will Jack. Yes, I just felt like I was kind of spinning my wheels a little bit on the other ones. So right now I am working on, I had the thought of, like, I want to have kind of like a little away. Okay. That is helpful for me to know, Fyra. I will still check it. But yes. My thought with this was to do a kind of like, not crazy complex animation, but kind of like a little away animation to have as like the background on the channel when I am not streaming. So it looks a little bit more intentional, but you know. Nice, thank you. Merci. And I feel like I am at the point now where I may be spinning my wheels a little bit on this one, but I would like to. Did you take? I did. So I'm still kind of figuring out how the like scheduling sort of stuff works on here. Because I know at least to be like I have that like kind of like weekly schedule-y thing filled in, but there doesn't seem to, well, I don't know, maybe I'm being like silly. Just like I kind of wish that you could customize it more from week to week, if that makes sense. I'm thinking now and I'm like, oh, I think I was being silly because I'm pretty sure there is like a take such and such day off. But the like brain rotted part of my processes right now is just like singing a variation of a Pink Pony Club, being like, oh, what have you done? You made the lines too thick, and now you have to redraw them. Someday I will learn my lesson, but today is not that day. Okay, alright, that's good. We're gonna leave it. We just have to make sure that we do the big floofy tail justice. Jesus. Thank you, Miss Charlotte. Also, this is something that I think I could go in and fix anyways, but I am annoyed that it replaced the like custom like bit sort of like thingy that I had with the like those ones, but it didn't do my like sub goal thing. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep fucking bitching about it. Damn straight. That's right. And on that day, it'll be over for you. You know, for now, I'm gonna take it as a compliment, Big Smith. I figure it's probably important for me to let you NPCs know that I'm fallible. And I can ... You're right. I would say that you guys are... Wow. Wow. Much rude NPCs. Y'all about to make me go, oh my god. Is it Renegade in, like, Mass Effect? Y'all about to make me go the evil character path. Such a renegade. Is all I can think about when I hear renegade. You know what other game I bought on sale not too long ago and have not played yet? A, you both know that I will, but also that I will come out to support you. Not Baldur's Gate 3. This one, to be fair, I haven't tried booting it up because I was just like, not yet. I will play it later. So I assume that it runs because it is a significantly smaller, older game than Baldur's Gate. But I went and got a Fallout New Vegas. I know that that doesn't really have like a renegade system, or like that sort of like actually does it have that kind of morality system in that but yes, that just made me think of that. So I haven't started it yet. It has reputation. Okay. Ugh, God. Right. What I remember from the small amounts of Fallout that I have played slash hours of lore videos that I've watched is that all the factions kind of suck. Maybe I will be such a renegade. Can make my own faction with blackjack and hookers. In fact, forget the faction. You can do that. Of course you can. That's very funny. The Bender path. Also, yes, that is just sort of one of those brain-rotted quotes that, like, if I say a certain phrase, I can't not say the the quote. Strength of the wazoo. You know I'm a pipe wrench it. Shall rule the wasteland with an iron pipe wrench. But yes, as some of you know, I have had a bad experience with, or at least an unlucky track record with trying to play Bethesda games, so I don't know if playing this one on my computer instead of a console will make it so that it doesn't just glitch out before I can even reach the first save point. But There is a process. The process is that Bethesda doesn't know me, but they hate me. Oh god, okay. Well, if you want to take a gander at that tomorrow too, you're more than welcome to. I might have to reinstall it though, because I uninstalled a bunch of Steam stuff that I hadn't been using to see if that would help with getting Baldur's Gate running, but alas. Also, I kind of feel like because I am talking about getting it up and running so much that I should maybe do like play the beginning on stream or something, just like in a solo playthrough. Just a 4-hour stream of between the character creator. I feel like it's definitely one of those things of, I don't know, I would be open to like playing for other people can see me game, but as long as nobody has their hopes too high that it is going to be a really good, competent playthrough. Miss Charlotte, I spend hours in Character Creator because I want to, not because I have to. I was gonna say, if I remember, because I have made a character on just saying that this one stream dies. No fun allowed. I see how it is. I do also know that one of the benefits of getting it on computer instead of console is that I can get mods, but also I'm not really thinking about that right now. Once I know that it'll run and my computer isn't gonna just like vaporize itself, maybe then I will think about that. Oh my god. Okay, what if I want a mod to make my character as hot as possible? Those are the kind of mods I care about. I don't care about like gameplay mods. I like say like that I will allow. Yeah, no. I feel like I am not well versed enough just like in playing these sorts of games in general, because like I didn't play like Divinity 2 or anything, which I assume is sort of like, if you have played that, then going into Baldur's Gate you have like a pretty good understanding of the systems. So oh yeah, okay, that's fair. No? Okay. Well, never mind then. Yeah, I'm not sure. I assume that's kind of like, if it isn't something like, because usually, for example, like if you are doing like custom content for like character build or for a created character in Sims, like some of the kind of like trickier things can be if they are items that, like for example, like wings and stuff that are not totally programmed into just like the ambient movement of Sims. So then it's like they never really look right. But Mhm. I'm glad to hear that you have finished your caulking, Nico. It was a long, hard process, but somebody had to do it. I'm not the same person I was 3.5 hours ago. Hire Nico to do it. Oh god. Yeah, I can imagine a cape would be hard if it was not actually programmed into a character model. Man, also those like Star Wars games are games that like everyone who has played them is always like, oh my god, they're like the best game ever. I would like give my firstborn child for this game, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I don't know. I have yet to be intrigued by them. It's just kind of like, okay. Alright, well that you're just objectively wrong, Big Smith. I'm sorry to tell you this. Also, a much smaller commitment than playing like a whole video game. I'll just say. Everyone shame Big Smith. Shame. Actually, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Star Wars is definitely a franchise that I liked growing up, and just as an adult, it has not managed to hold my interest. So. Also, I just remembered that shaming Big Smith will not work, so it said, you know what, Big Smith? That's really valid. That's really valid that you have that opinion. You know, it's really brave for you to have that opinion. I think that you should never watch one so that you can continue to be special and never seen a Studio Ghibli movie, even though they're great. In fact, I think it's better if you don't watch them, actually, now that I think about it. See? We could come to a reasonable conclusion to this topic. That involves all of us being cool, having seen Studio Ghibli movies, and Ryan not being cool. Yeah, I feel like we started talking about Boy and the Heron, not that long ago. Because I watched that one over Christmas. I actually got it as like a gift for Christmas, which was nice. Because I wanted to see it. And I feel like it was okay. It definitely is not getting added to my like roster of my favorite Miyazaki movies, but well, I believe this is a Studio Ghibli movie, but not a Miyazaki movie. I may be wrong, but it gave me similar vibes to maybe not the movie or like the story itself, but like just my like impression / enjoyment of it as when Marnie was there, because that was a movie that I enjoyed the initial premise of, and then as it went along, I was like, kind of weird. Yes. Well, now he needs the escort. It's like he's going out in the prison yard now that he has done a naughty thing. Yeah, as I said, I'm pretty sure When Marnie Was There is a Studio Ghibli movie, but not by like Miyazaki himself. It might be by his son. Might have been the like main person on it. I have approximate knowledge of many things. And I guess spoilers-ish, without being too spoilery, I thought that it was kind of a story about the main character meeting this, girl who is not of her time, kind of like, is she paranormal? Is she a ghost? Is she a blah blah blah? But the main things that I was expecting was that it was kind of like, they were having a little like, first sort of like summer romance as like children that age. And as I said, without going into details, that is not what is going on. So yeah, no. I'm obviously a little bit biased because I think those sorts of stories are very like sweet. Just kind of talking about like first romances or like kind of more innocent like romances, and like especially for like queer characters, So I don't think that my impression that was where it was going was really like so crazy, but yeah, no, that's not where it's going. Yeah, I still see, I have to say it with like this sort of voice because I'm like, for me, that plot point and like being completely off base with where I thought things were going or what was going on kind of like did make me not like the movie. Which I realize is maybe not the most fair thing, but like, I was quite enjoying it until I realized that I was barking up the wrong tree. So I don't know. Your mileage may vary. Maybe that's the review I can give it. Yes, L. That's cool. I did say I was gonna go till like 8, and I realize it is almost 8 now. So I should probably still aim to do that because I need to go collect my laundry from the dryer downstairs. I appreciate that, Miss Charlotte. If I am wrapped up by the time you come back, have a good night, and we will organize for tomorrow. Either way, so yes. Enjoy your walk in the dark. Cool. Okay, and just to confirm, Wheeljack, so you said because of the convention, you're not going to be watching on Friday. So let's say I'll pick up your commission on Monday, okay? So that you can tune in. Awesome. Okay, cool. You came back too late. For what, Big Smith? Not quite. I'm going for a little bit longer. I was just saying that it is almost 8 o'clock, and that was when I said I was going to go to, since I need to go get the rest of my laundry out of the dryer, and I have to cook. Not fair. I have to do everything around here. Okay, here. Click. Damn. Good job, Fyra, but also F in the chat. So I'm gonna see how much I actually want to like animate this. Mostly my thought was that it would be like, you know, she'd be like kind of like breathing a little, so just a little like, you know, chest movements, and then also kind of like maybe instead of like a sleep bubble, have like a little like ghost that's like kind of like going in and out as she's snoring. And then if I end up being very ambitious, I was like, maybe I could have like Rosie pop her head out or something, but for now, yes. I know I should try to not get too far ahead of myself, because obviously it's just taking me this long to do this, so. I appreciate that, Big Smith. Thank you. I feel like I overworked her line work there, but oh my god. Someday reading that will not make me laugh, but today is not that day. Okay. So, on that note, I was going to bring me girl to say bye, so you could be like, look at that dog. Hey, Miss Friend. Gonna say, look at that dog. Come here. Come here, sweetie. I know. Oh, she's so comfy, cozy. Oh, she's so comfy, cozy. Hey, Friend, look. Oh, big girl. Oh, big yum. Look, that's you. That's you sleeping in a pumpkin. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay. You're such a good girl. Let's make some dal. Does that sound good? Maybe with some sweet potato and some chickpeas. She's so sleepy. She's just a little guy. See? It's so hard for me to do her justice because she's so perfect. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much for... Yeah, she's just a weird... It's just a little guy. Okay. Alright. Well, as I said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out while I start this drawing. And yes, I can wheeljack. I will do that. Yeah. So I will catch whomsoever I see next stream on Friday. And as I said, I will send you that wheeljack and also have fun at New York Comic Con. Anyways, bye. Goodbye.